Hey everyone, Doc Allie here to give you some quick updates on Clerkships. 4 weeks ago, I transferred from family medicine into internal medicine, and I have noticed some huge differences, but at the same time, there's been a few things that I've kept the same. I keep a notebook on me at all times to log every patient encounter I go through. I still use the Hippocrates app to check medications, adverse outcomes, dosing, all of those good things. And then I also will use UpToDate. I recently had a doctor who wanted me to start thinking of plans of care and care assessments, so I used UpToDate to be able to give a full presentation for the attending. Family medicine it was a little more relaxed because I was working in a clinic, I wasn't in the hospital, so a lot of these patients were just coming in for maintenance appointments like diabetes, hypertension. Oh my gosh, I have a cough, my throat hurts. Basic things. And then I transitioned into internal medicine where these patients are inpatient. They're either suffering from congested heart failure, COPD exacerbation, end-stage renal disease problems, uremia. I can go on and on of all the things I've seen, a lot of GI bleeding. So these patients are a lot more ill, and that's one thing I've noticed the huge difference between. I know that there's family medicine inpatients, but I didn't experience that. I only experienced outpatient. In internal medicine, my schedule has changed a lot as well because I have to complete the case presentations, the patient logs, and now I have patient notes I have to submit to the school. On top of that, I have to study for the internal medicine shelf. With having a lot of severely ill patients, it can become heavy, and that's when one of the doctors I was rounding with, we have like 7 we have to get through within the next 12 weeks. So one of the doctors I was rounding with, he was telling us that when things do get heavy, you have to make sure that you leave that at the hospital. So whether that's talking to a coworker, maintain HIPAA, but you could talk to them about something you've experienced or seen, therapist, family member, friend that you trust, anybody to help just take it, leave it there, and go on about your day. Not to be callous, but you can't carry that with you. It's too heavy. As far as studying goes, that's affected my schedule a lot. If I have rotations later in the day, like starting at 11, I make sure that I still wake up around 7, get some studying done, and then I go ahead and head over to the hospital. If my rotations start early in the morning, like 7 or 8, then I make sure that I get my studying done once I get home. That's the harder part, I feel, when it's just like mainly I get to do the bulk of it in the morning and then just finish off in the afternoon. I like that a lot more, but we don't always get what we want, especially not in medical school. As far as the study materials, I'm using UWorld, I'm using Step Up to Medicine, and I am using Divine Intervention videos. The thing that I would say that I've kept with me since step 1 preparation is my why I missed it sheets. I plan to go in greater detail about, how I've been studying. And let's say a little disclaimer is I've actually started using Anki. So yeah, life continues to change, and that's one thing that I've noticed in medical school is you can't say this is how I study and this is the only way that I'm going to study. Like every class, every semester, you just have to keep adjusting and changing until you finally pass the course, pass the shelf. And right now, I just need to pass this rotation. Last thing to bother you guys with is I had this patient with varicose veins, and I also had my mom yelling at me that I needed to get compression socks, and the joggers or the scrubs that I wear are joggers, so I was like, I don't want compression socks, it's not gonna look right with my jogger scrubs. And then I looked on Amazon, there's these things called compression sleeves, so it cuts off at the ankle and it works the same as compression socks. So if you guys want to maybe prevent possible varicose veins in your future, this is the way. I also feel like my feet don't get tired with them. I don't know if that's how that's supposed to work or if it's just supposed to hold my calf steady, but that's another thing that I have picked up during this rotation. That's all I have for you today, guys. Looking forward to checking back in with you. Big news coming up soon to be released early next month.